University of Science and Technology. His bachelor degree is from Sudan University of Science and Technology in 2007. Continue to master degree in 2012, and then doctoral degree in Unpad atau Universitas Pajajaran in 2016. And then many course and postdoctoral. I noticed two is in Aligarh Muslim University 2017, and then in International Center for Chemical and Biological Science in Pakistan in 2020. Many research conducted in bioresource science and also fisheries and environment. So this is the background of Dr. Ramzy, who will give you a class today. So feel free to ask any question about fisheries and plankton, of course. And Dr. Ramzy, after this, the slide and the screen is yours.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Pak Chandra, and also for Zahida. Thank you for this is guest lecture. Inshallah, I will give you, as you know, very humble and very enthusiastic lecture. Inshallah. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to come back to my home to Universitas Pajajaran. I'm very happy to be with you. So, as okay, this is my brief CV. As Pachandra, I think he clarified this is one. So my address Sudan University of Science and Technology, College of Animal Production Science and Technology, and right now the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife Science. This is my own address, and also uh, okay.
Dr. Ramzy,
Today I want to start
sorry,
this.
your screen not yet share.
Okay. Today I'm gonna start this course about planktonology. As Zahida says that we have to start two session or two lectures for planktonology about phytoplankton and also about zooplankton. And today, inshallah, we are going to start with phytoplankton. Okay, this is my brief CV. As he also, as he before he said to you, this is my CV, and also this is a course planktonology. I think class the participant from class APC and also from Bangandara. Okay, firstly we need to start introduction about plankton and what's the plankton and what's the importance of plankton in aquaculture and what's the negative impact of plankton, especially phytoplankton in aquaculture and also in water surface. So a lot of informations, I think you have it before about plankton and phytoplankton and zooplankton as well. Here I'm trying to give you just introduction today about plankton as general, and also we will go for more informations, more review about phytoplankton. But next week, inshallah, we will go for zooplankton and we'll give more details about plankton itself for undergraduate courses, inshallah. So what are exactly are planktons? What is the plankton itself? Plankton, there is a phytoplankton and also there is a zooplankton. For phyto, it means animal, it means plants. Phyto, it means plants. And zoo, it means animals. So zooplankton, it means small, teeny animals. So this is a zooplankton. And also for phytoplankton, it comes from phyto. It comes from plants.
Dr. Ramzy, sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
Did you already share your screen?
Yes, I
Okay.
already.
In it's not shown in our.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I think so, yeah. In some cases we have this trouble.
Okay, okay, okay,
Almost
no
ev- almost
problem.
almost every week we have this trouble.
Okay, 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 no problem. I will go back and share it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, right now it's okay.
Okay. Now it's perfect.
Okay. From the
Okay.
beginning today, yes, this is our course is about planktonology, and I will give you two lectures about planktons, phytoplankton, and also zooplanktons. And today we are going to give you more informations about plankton as general, and also specifically we will talk about phytoplankton. And this is my address, Sudan University of Science and Technology, College of Animal Protection Science and Technology, and right now in the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife Science. So this is our department. Uh, I'm working here. I graduated from the same department, and right now I'm working, and right now I'm the head of the same departments. Later, we don't know where we can go. Okay, this is my brief CV about my, as he said, Pachandra, what I did before, and also we have, right now we have a project with TUAS, World Academy of Science, and also we have a project with uh, Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We have a project, inshallah, and that will be, and that we are going to launch it in this year, inshallah. And that project will focus on fish nutrition and also in aquaculture. So we have a hatchery in our department. We need to develop that hatchery, and this is our task right now. For how to develop this is hatchery. We need to produce a lot of seeds, especially on in Orochromys analyticus tilapia, Nile tilapia, and also we are focusing for how to produce more from Clarias carpinus, Clarias. So here, this is a course about planktonology. As you said, two lectures, I think, today and next Monday, inshallah, about planktonology. And this is for class ABC and also for Bangandaran campus. Uh, and this is an introduction about plankton as general. What is a plankton? And as we said that, phytoplankton and also zooplankton. This is what exactly the plankton is. So plankton, it means it's come from two parts. The firstly they are phytoplankton and also zooplanktons. And here we have Buzahida, and she is a very expert in this fields, and she is my opponent in my PhD, and also I joined her in ALU project, and that is funded by the rector of UMPAT. I think at that times. She is the more expert in this fields, especially, and she published a lot of paper in this fields in planktonology, in planktons. So even in South, in Indonesia, and also in the area around, she is very famous about this is subject. And today I'm very happy to join her in this course, really. What exactly are the plankton? Plankton, as we said, that stem from two parts: plants and animals, and that live in the waters and cannot swim against major the currents. So that cannot swim against the major currents, against the currents. So it means phytoplankton live in waters and that cannot swim. So it means in the locomotion or in the movements, it depends on the current. So it go when the current is going, so they will go with it. So here plant, it means phytoplankton, and also zoo, it means animals, as we said it before. So plant like plankton, it means phytoplankton. Phytoplankton, it means like a plant. So, and also single cells or chain of cells. There is a lot of chain or a lot of a lot of cells, and that is can be joined together. So this is the single cells, and this is over a million of phytoplankton in teaspoons. So can be, and after that, just in teaspoons, there is a lot of chain or a lot of plankton. Right now, after this is a small one, after a lot of process, for example, of disposable materials, and that contain nitrogen, contain phosphate, and that will make bloom, blooming in sea or in also in rivers, lakes, or swamp. Animal like plankton, there is a zooplankton. This is zooplankton can be seen by eyes. It's not like a zooplankton. It's not like a phytoplankton. So this is, it will form just like a jellyfish. So common phytoplankton. Here we come for our lecture today about phytoplankton, and this is the definition of phytoplankton. Are tiny, they are very small and photosynthetic organisms, and this is means they can manufacture their own food using energy from sunlight, producing oxygen as a byproduct. So they are very small, they are very tiny, and photosynthetic organisms. They can make their own food by their own self. So it means phytoplankton can make through something called photosynthetic. It means for photosynthetic organisms, and they are photosynthesize their own food by their own self. So, and this is means they can manufacture their own food using energy from sunlight and producing oxygen as a byproduct. So that's this solid oxygen in the water. It produce it by this is phytoplankton, because in waters there is oxygen, and this solid is called dissolved oxygen or DO. So dissolved oxygen is come from the surface, from atmosphere, and also it come from this is phytoplankton. So phytoplankton, it means it is a positively produce oxygen as a byproduct from the long process about photosynthetic. So the oxygen in waters is come from this organism. So this organism is very important. It's very important in waters. So because it will produce oxygen, and oxygen is very important for aquatic organisms. The other aquatic organism, is it fish or other organisms, and also shrimps or others organism in water. So for these things, phytoplankton is very important. Also, it makes also very negative impacts. Sometimes if the phytoplankton became a lot of in waters, that will uh, make a shadow in waters, and will close the surface of the waters, and that is, it will make a problem for penetration of the lights. Light cannot be entered to the in deep waters in order to produce this. Is also sometimes it has a negative impact, and mostly it has a positive impact because it will produce oxygen for. And also phytoplankton is very important in aquaculture because fish, it will depend on phytoplankton for their feeds. In this is in the food chain, phytoplankton in the ponds, and it will eat by zooplankton, and zooplankton it will eat the fish. So fish, it means it depend on this is especially here in Africa. In aquaculture, we are depend on the natural foods. Sometimes, yes, and sometimes we call it natural food. It means phytoplankton and zooplankton. And phytoplankton is very important in the pond in aquaculture. Here in Africa, a lot of people depend on phytoplankton in natural foods. And this is, we call it green technology for how to produce a lot of phytoplankton. And here in Tanzania, there is a lot of people making ponds and producing phytoplanktons, and they are transported to the big ponds outside in their farms in order to produce feeds for fish. And this is the diatoms. Okay, this is diatoms division. Here's a phyta. This is one of the phytoplankton. Also, here's diatoms prostos. Also, one of the phytoplankton. So phytoplankton is dinoflagellated and dinoflagellates. This is like us dinoflagellates as you can see here in the pictures in this screen. Dinoflagellated. So phytoplankton shapes. Phytoplankton live near the surface of the ocean because they need sunlight to make food. So phytoplankton, as we said, it is photosynthetic organism and it depend on light to make their own food. So in ocean or also rivers, lakes, swamp, so dams, it lives near the surface, and that's in order to take the light and to making their own food. Here is the shape. It depends on the kind of the phytoplankton. There is a lot of shape of phytoplankton. It starts from the unicellular organism. It means from the single cell till to a lot of cells. A lot of cells, it makes a lot of chain of phytoplankton. So example of phytoplankton, like the dinoflagellates and also like diatoms. This is the shape of it. So adaptation of phytoplankton, dinoflagellated, it means they have two flagella and hard shells, and also here is the blooming of the phytoplankton. So the blooming, this is the kind of negative of the phytoplankton. As we said before, it means increase of the phytoplankton, and it will color the waters. The waters will become, and it will make a lot of problem. So it will make the depletion in oxygen in the waters, and also a lot of fish it will die, and that will make a lot of mortality in the dams. And this it happen, I think, in Indonesia. I don't know, maybe it happens because dumping of waste in the dam, so it will depletion of oxygen, and that's increase nitrogen and also phosphates, and that will increase the amount and the numbers of phytoplankton. So this is the diatoms, various shapes, uh, class cell wall spines and chains. Yeah, this is the shapes and adaptation of phytoplankton. Here dinoflagellated the shapes and also diatoms. Okay, this is unicellular organism, and it will make a lot of cells. A lot of cells will aggregate together, and it will make bloomings, blooms of phytoplankton. So why are plankton so important? Why are the plankton is very important in our life? Because phytoplankton and zooplankton is very important, as we said, in aquaculture, and also so phytoplankton in the pond, and it will come zooplankton. This is the zooplankton. It will eat phytoplankton, and after that, a small fish will eat zooplankton, and large fish like
Hah?
it will eat
Kita
small
Henny.
tuna and also bigger. So this is phytoplankton is very important in the food chain. So in food chain, phytoplankton will start from phytoplankton, zooplankton will eat, and also we call it pyramid food or pyramid or food chain. So small fish will eat zooplankton, mackerel, and also tuna. So and after that, a shark or another fish or big. So this is a chain, and this is just like a gears. It starts from the small one to the big one. Okay, so it means phytoplankton is very important. So phytoplankton are the autotrophics and self-feeding component of the plankton community and a key part of ocean and freshwater ecosystem. And the names come from the Greek words. It means phyto and plankton. And plant it means planktons and meaning wanderer or drifters. It means it goes through currents, as we said before. Phytoplankton are the autotrophics and self-feeding component of the plankton community and key part of the ocean and freshwater ecosystem. So in fish, in freshwater ecosystem, there is a plankton and also there is the phytoplankton and also in ocean in salt water also there is a plankton, phytoplankton, zooplankton, and phytoplankton. But I think it's different from this is ecosystem to another ecosystem. In freshwater ecosystem, I think it is very thin, very small, and also in ocean is bigger than that is in freshwater. So this is just like a definition about phytoplankton and what is the phytoplankton is. As we said that as autotrophic self-feeding component of the plankton community and key part of ocean and freshwater ecosystem. This is the definition. And before also we define it, phytoplankton and also zooplankton and what is the plankton is and what is the importance of planktons. So phytoplankton obtains their energy through the photosynthesis. As we said that there is this is animal and this is organism are photosynthetic organism. So just like a tree plants in the terrestrial area. So and this is means phytoplankton must have lights from the sun. So it will depend on the lights in the sun. So and so they live in the well lit surface layers. So aquatic zones. So it live in the first layers of the surface. So in ocean or in the lakes. In comparison with the terrestrial plants, phytoplankton are distributed over the large surface area, are exposed to less seasonal variations and have markedly faster turn-off rates than trees. So phytoplankton it depend on different from the trees, terrestrial trees. It means the trees or plants in the land. And because phytoplankton in waters and plants and trees in the lands in the outside. So the difference in the distribution over the large surface also and the difference in the seasonal variation. Here they don't have any it's less in seasonal variations and have markedly faster turnover rates. So rapidly in global scale to climatic variations. So in this case, phytoplankton is different from the plants and animals, but they are the same in something called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis of photosynthetic organisms, phytoplankton, and also in plants and trees. Also, it depends on sunlight to make their own food. So, phytoplankton it live in the aquatic zone. So, phytoplankton form the base of marine and freshwater food webs and are key players in the global carbon cycle. So, phytoplankton they make the form or they make the base of marine and freshwater food webs or chain and are key players in the carbon global cycle. So they account for about half of the global photosynthetic activity and about half of the oxygen production, despite amounting to only about 100% of the global plant biomass. So They account for about half of the global photosynthetic activity and about half of the oxygen production. So it produced by this organism by phytoplankton. So here we are going to summary about the phytoplankton. What is the phytoplankton? It is a plant-like plant, and also phytoplankton cannot swim against the major currents. They cannot swim against the currents. So it means it depends on their movements on the currents. So it goes with currents. So plankton, their whole life and produce 50% of the oxygen we breathe. So plankton or phytoplankton also produce for us 50% of all the oxygen we breathe. So a lot of references and a lot of papers published about phytoplankton and their producing of oxygen. And here we are. So I have to give you a reference for this is information about produce 50% of the oxygen we breathe. So adaptation, spine, chain, and heartless. This is the summary about the phytoplankton. Uh, and here, the importance of phytoplankton in aquaculture. Phytoplankton is very important for aquaculture. In aquaculture pond, the microscopic plants, plankton, serve as a live food for shrimp, prawns, and fish. So in aquaculture, phytoplankton is very important. As we said before, fish depend on it in the ponds. And ecologically, plankton play a significant role in increasing the biological productivity in aquaculture ponds. Ecoplants are excellent organic formulations containing nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other nutrients. So in aquaculture, the main costly thing is fish meal and also other ingredients. So if we need to make a feed for aquaculture, in aquaculture there is artificial feed, also there is natural feed. And natural feed, just like uh, phytoplankton, zooplankton in the pond, that we have to fertilize our ponds in order to increase the productivity of our ponds, in order to produce phytoplankton. So in this case, the profit will be high because we reduce the cost. We are not going to buy a lot of ingredients like fish meals or other ingredients, wheat bran, rice bran, with meddling, something like that. So we are going to depend on the natural feeds. So for natural feeds, so the profit will be high, and that is the main goals. The ultimate goals for the farmers and also for aquaculturists is how to produce less FCR. Less FCR it will comes when you have it less than one, so it will be good FCR. Feed conversion ratio. And feed conversion ratio it will come to you when you have high weight and also you have small amounts the amount of transformation from feed to meats, from feed to meats. So here the aquaculturist, economist, and also the farmer, they have to produce. They have to produce feed. They have to produce fish, weight, and less cost. So natural food here is very important. Phytoplankton is very important. So you have to fertilize your feeds by feces and also by something called natural or organic phosphate. Organic phosphate, just like disposable feces, something like that, in order to fertilize your ponds, and that will increase the amount of phytoplankton. And so the benefit it will come to you here for to reduce the cost in order to give the natural or artificial feeds. So artificial feed is very costly. So here we are depend on phytoplankton. So pond typically contain abundance of phytoplankton, and this is organism play an important role in ponds ecology. Also, phytoplankton it will play very important role in pond ecology and influence water quality, and also it will influence water quality, and also phytoplankton usually are beneficial under some condition, and they can be quite problematic in fish and also in shrimp production. So pond typically contain an abundance of phytoplankton, and this is organism play an important role. So as we said that in aquaculture, the ultimate goal is how to produce meat with less cost. So we need weight, and also we need the cost should be less. So here in Africa, a lot of people they are going to do the same. So management in aquaculture ponds is very important for the farmers, and also for the farmers, and also for the people those home around they working in these fields. Aquaculturist, biologist, economist, all the people. So how to manage the aquaculture ponds? Aquaculture pond over have more than 50 species of phytoplankton at any given times, but only few species, usually less than 4 or 5, will make up most of the phytoplankton community. So phytoplankton community in the ponds, it means a lot of species. So we did research, and also we published that research, and also still we have a lot of paper to publish. We did research in Czech Dam Umpat. So in that one, we have a lot of species we collected from this area, and also there is a small songai behind the FICOM faculty, Facultas FICOM, and also we did research in this station. So in that songai, small songai, I think came from I forget the places. It came from that area. So we did that research in this area, and also our paper is going to be published, inshallah, along with Prof. Zahida. Uh, so in these stations, we collect a lot of species. So, and how about this is small pond? A small pond, I think, the area or the area of this is pond maybe less than this is songai. So a lot of species. So in one pond, maybe 50 or more species, but for it will be dominant, it will be high. So it will be dominant of phytoplankton community. So in order to study this, I think it needs to be patient. It needs to be more struggle in order to collect your sample, in order to do it for identification and for classification. It needs times, and it will need to be patient, and also it needs more experience. So also moreover, phytoplankton community in water bodies typically undergo rapid succession. There is a succession also, and the species composition of phytoplankton community frequently change over a period of a few weeks. So over a period of few weeks, it will be changing. So, so here we are going to talk about a lot of species in one drop of bottles. So you can find a lot of species. So here we are going to talk about the phenomena of blooming. So blooming or bloom, the abundance of phytoplankton is usually controlled by the concentration of nutrient, especially those of inorganic nitrogen and phosphates. So nitrogen and phosphate, it will control this is blooming. So when you dispose any waste in the river, lakes, so it will create a lot of nutrients, in the bond, and that is inorganic nutrient like phosphate. So it will increase the amount of phytoplankton. And phytoplankton, when it will become high in the ponds, so it will make this is problem. And blooming is uh, very negative phenomena in the ponds and also in sea and in the rivers. So what does with the elevated in inorganic nitrogen and phosphate concentration? The concentration it will be high, and thus the large amount of phytoplankton it will be increased in this ecosystem, in rivers, ocean, and also in lakes. So, and this is organism impart a color. It will make the color of the water is green, totally green. So it's called the phytoplankton bloom. So phytoplankton blooming it means the increase of inorganic nutrient, and that will make the production of phytoplankton, and it will make it will change the color of the waters. So of course some waters are derived from large concentration of suspended clay particle or humid substances, and there is insufficient light for appreciable. So as we said that the light cannot be penetrate to the surface of the waters, that will make the problem. And so the phytoplankton growth it will increase day to day. So, and highly acidic waters also may not develop dense phytoplankton blooms even if there are plenty of nutrients. So, in acidic waters, I think the blooming cannot be happen because there is a lot of problem like phytoplankton can be dense in this community. So, uh, phytoplankton is an important source of dissolved oxygen, as we said before, because it depends on the sunlight to make their own food, and after that, the byproduct it will be dissolved oxygen. And dissolved oxygen is very important for the organisms that live in water in the daytime, so that during the daytime. And this is plant produce oxygen by photosynthesis at a much faster rate than oxygen can diffuse from the atmosphere into the bone water. So phytoplankton rapidly remove ammonia, nitrogen from the water, lessening the concentration of this is potentially toxic substances. And this is toxic substances is called ammonia. It will be removed rapidly from the waters. So phytoplankton is very important because it will give us their own byproducts. Is it with oxygen? So in this case, phytoplankton it is very important, and also it will remove the ammonia nitrogen from the water. This is because ammonia is very toxic to aquatic organisms. When ammonia it will be high in the pond, so a lot of fish it will die. Okay, or it will cause mortality. Finally, turbidity also created by phytoplankton restricts light penetration. Also, light penetration, light cannot be penetrate to the surface of the bottom of the bonds, and the phytoplankton bloom is good control measure for aquatic macrophyta and thus grow below the water surface. So phytoplankton sometimes blooming it has it will control the measure of aquatic macrophyta. There is a macrophyta live in the bottom of the pond. So because the blooming can make just light cannot be penetrated to the bottom of the waters. So here this is the benefit of some of this is phytoplankton. Okay. So we are going to the potential negative impact of phytoplankton. In spite of phytoplankton being beneficial in aquaculture ponds, the benefit of aquaculture pond of phytoplankton is to produce byproducts. Their byproducts is it oxygen, and also fish it depend on phytoplankton to eat it, And in pond, there is a lot of species in the pond. So their blooms may become excessive and cause negative impacts. So the positive impact is fish depend on phytoplankton, and also phytoplankton produce for us oxygen, the solid oxygen in waters, and also the negative impact will make the bloom maybe cause became excessive and cause negative impact. The blooming is the negative impact of phytoplankton. So during the day, the night times in pond with the dense phytoplankton blooms, respiration by phytoplankton and other organisms may cause excessively low dissolved oxygen concentration, and that may stress or kill all the cultured species. So here, this is the negative impact of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton has a positive impact, and also it has negative impact. For positive impact, it will produce oxygen, lots of oxygen in our pond. Also, it will increase, it will also give us natural food, and negative is the blooms. And also, during the daytimes, it will make respiration cannot be happen for organism. So, in aerated pond, also, phytoplankton blooms that reduce the depth of the underwater visibility to less than 20 to 30 centimeters as measured with a circuit disk is likely to cause excessively low nighttime dissolved oxygen concentration. Also here, the impact is to cause excessively low nighttime dissolved oxygen concentration. So in the night, the dissolved oxygen will be less because there is no light, and also carbon dioxide will increase in the pond, and that will make problem for the fish. During daytimes, high rate of photosynthesis might also deplete water of free carbon dioxide, leading to excessively high pH. So during the daytimes, it means in night times it will stop the producing dissolved oxygen, and photosynthesis might deplete also water of free carbon dioxide, leading to excessively high pH. So pH it will be very high. So here it will be alkalinity in the pond. So also high level of dissolved oxygen supersaturation may occur when photosynthesis is rapid, and also oxygen supersaturation usually does not cause gas bubble trauma. So in aquatic animals in ponds. So because culture animals usually can move to deeper water where there is a degree of oxygen saturation is lower. So however, in pond, use it to supply water to hatcheries. Gas oversaturations in source water can have adverse effects on eggs or also in fry. So this is also the negative impact sometimes, and also the positive impact of phytoplankton. So is it clear? So here I think so sorry about this is I think 1 hour or less than 1 hour about this lecture. Um, Next week, inshallah, we have here assignments. Write a review paper about the abundance of phytoplankton and its relation to the nitrogen phosphorus ratio. Next week, we will discuss this paper, and you have to follow the paper. So this paper should have abstract, introduction, literature review, discussion, and also conclusion, and you have to add more recent references for this paper. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ramzy. Okay,
Yes.
so
I'm so sorry about this. Is because do you know today uh, we have a meeting here in our department.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I think your presentation is very clear and crystal. So, uh, Yeah, we can see the slide also very smoothly. And then now, yeah, we can open the question for two or
Okay,
three students first. And then if we still have time, then we can just like flowing and continue the discussion.
okay, thank you so
Okay,
much.
sound good for you?
Okay.
Okay,
If there
okay,
is any question, I'm ready. And
okay,
also, this is BPT. I will give it to you, inshallah, by Chandra. If
okay,
anyone he need it, you can send it to him, inshallah. Okay.
okay. And then the tugas that you mentioned at the last slide. Okay, I will mention at the Google Classroom for the student. So I
Yes.
just make sure the student do the assignment before next week.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
oke. Baik, teman-teman sekalian, silahkan bila Anda punya pertanyaan, silahkan untuk ditanyakan. Oke, oke, I think today will be very interesting because we already have 5 hand
Good.
raises. So
Okay,
I
that's
will
good.
open 3 first. First is Rama. Rama, you can open your mic and start your question.
No, no, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, thank you
Dr.
so
Ramzi,
much.
you want to collect the question first or you want to direct answer?
Okay, no problem. We can go for
Okay,
uh, question. Right now, my screen is clear or it's not?
you says screen.
Okay.
You will have
Uh,
your on screen. Okay.
yes, he talking about. He asking about what the specific species that can reduce carbon dioxide. I think carbon dioxide from the pond. So.
So yeah, basically, Rama mentioned that we have problem with the climate change, and
Mm,
then as you know, the plankton can absorb the carbon.
mm,
So if we can minimize our, but the other side, we have problem with nutrient in the water. So how plankton can solve the nutrient in the water at the same time it's cause it also can absorb the carbon itself.
mm. Okay. Yes, as we mentioned, the benefit of phytoplankton sometimes it will come to do things. So, firstly, phytoplankton itself, it will be used as a natural food, and also it will produce carbon. It will be produce oxygen, dissolved oxygen in the water. So the negative thing is the negative thing is sometimes it will make a blooming. So blooming it means increase the high amount of phytoplankton in the surface, and that will the make cannot sunlight cannot penetrate to the bottoms of the pond or the ecosystem. So or to the lakes, rivers, or ocean. So the problem is here. Some species, some species can make a dominance in the ponds. So this is it will make the problem. So during the daytime, a lot of dissolved oxygen it will come. Those solvents oxygen, as we know, it will make depletion of oxygen in the pond, and this is a problem. It will make mortality directly to the ecosystem. I think there is a case in Tuba, I think Tuba, or in Indonesia, I think. Tuba lakes in Sumatra, or
Yes,
where
I
I
know
think
Tuba.
yes, there is a depletion of oxygen in that lakes, and after that, yeah, Tuba dam, I think dam, yes, and after that, this is thing it make problem. Here in Sudan also we have the same thing near to River Nile. You know, we have a near River Nile here, and there is a manufactory, sugar manufactory near to this is one. So they make disposable of the hot water, thermal water. So it will comes to river. So a lot of fish is die. A lot of fish make mortality in that Songhai, Nile Songhai. So this is the problem also. For species, specific species that can be used to reduce this oxygen or can be contribute to the climatic change. So trees as general, I think is very important in our life. So in Indonesia, I think you don't have it. Here we have deserts in the north part of our country. So and this is deserts is come because we don't have any just like a green belt. Right now, the government is going, and also our prime minister, he has a plan. And also before, also in US, also Obama, before he leave his chair, also he has a plan to produce a lot of trees in order to stop desertifications, especially in North Africa, and also to control the climate change. So climate change it has impact negative impact in human and also in animals as general, and also in our fields in fish also it has impact. So I think you answered your own questions as I understood like that. But I don't know. You can write it to me also in chat or send it to my WhatsApp. Inshallah, because
Okay,
yes, I get it just like that.
okay, okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Rama. So Dr. Ramzi said that if we have like a specific uh, plankton to absorb the carbon and so on, but the problem is when they bloom.
Yes, this
So
is finished.
when we have one specific plankton and it's very good
Yeah,
to solve the problem nutrient, then we
yeah,
spread in the water, so they bloom. So that become a
yeah.
new problem.
The same problem
So,
will come to you.
so ya Kang Rama, jadi
Thank you so
begitu Kang.
much, Pak Chandra, for answering. Yeah,
So Kang Rama gitu ya. Jadi so the main idea is the balancing of this in this ecosystem. Yeah,
yeah.
so we can maintain. Yeah, we can have a nutrient in water, but then we have the like maximum amount to minimize the impact to the environment on to us also at the same time. Yeah, so yeah, the key is how to manage it. And then, yeah, I think one question is very nice and very long discussion. So I think for the next, I think I have to collect first two or three, and then you can make it as once.
Okay, no, no problem, no problem.
Oke,
Yeah, just cooperate, no
to
problem.
Riangka Priantara, silahkan Anda buka mic-nya.
Okay. Before I would like to say thank you to Dr. Ramji Yosef for give me an opportunity to asking some question.
Yeah.
Maybe as long as you were a student at Unpad in Indonesian, you have done a lot of research about plankton. So my question is, what is the difference between the plankton in Indonesian water and plankton in your country? And then does each country have its own endemic plankton? Maybe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for this question.
Okay, next is
Really,
Muarif. I will collect first.
okay.
Okay, first of all, I'm so sorry that my English is so bad, but I'll try to use my English as good as I can. First of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. It was an honor for me. And then I want to ask, as far as I know, there's a lot of cases of blooming around the world. For example, like in Maninjal Lake on October 2011, and in Jakarta Bay, and Vietnam, and USA, and a lot of country. And then, as Dr. Ramsey said, blooming is very bad phenomena. And then the question is, if a lake already has blooming, is it possible if the lake can turn back into normal? If is it possible, how? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Muarif. Next, Rahma Balkis.
Thank you, Pak Chandra, and also Mr. Ramzi as the speakers. My name is Rahma. Permission to ask, Mr. Talking about the plankton world, how is plankton in Sudan? Is there a lot of plankton or a little bit? Because according to journals that I have read, the abundance of plankton in Sudan is very little or very low. Because one of the factor is because the Sudan area is facing the Red Sea. Is this true? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rahma. And then next, Alteus.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I have a question about the blooming. Can we inject something that can make plankton blooming very fast, especially plankton that can be used for fish food? Thank you, sir. I'm sorry for my bad English. Okay.
Okay, okay. Dr. Ramzi, you can answer the question. I will keep the last three question for your final question.
Okay, no problem. Take your rest. Okay, thank you so much. Really, I'm very happy. And for the first question about, yes, we did research in of the impact of uh, the impact of waste that discharged from food courts, from Fakultas Pertanian, Fakultas Peternakan, and also from different faculties to check them, and also to Songai that is come from, I don't
You
know,
want to say Cikuda?
Cicalink.
Kuda.
Yes, Kuda, yes. I forget it. Yes, that's behind Facultas Ficom, yes. So we did research in this area. So our research is published already in the journals. Just if I because those days really I'm very busy to bring it. But I will next week inshallah I will bring our title that paper and also the journals you can follow and you can see the species that we found in that area and also so very nice question about that. We get, I think, at that times a lot of species, especially in check down in inlet and also in the median and also in the park, and also check the heavy metals in fish, heavy metals in waters, and also we did it. So at that times, along with Prof Yayat and also Masamsir and also Pasanarto, and and also Buzahida, we published that work together, and also here we go. So for a species of phytoplankton in Sudan and also in Indonesia, what's the difference? So I think there is a little bit of I think taxa. If we need to compare it between freshwater and ocean, I think there is a difference. Maybe the same families, but in ocean maybe it's more bigger than in freshwater. Also the different species in fresh waters from uh, salt water, and also in brackish water also as well. There is a difference. So for in Sudan and Indonesia, I think yes, sometimes maybe there is a little difference. Just maybe some species is found over there and some species over here. And also for research, maybe here we did research since 1956. We did research in Fish Research Center, and also Khartoum University Department of Zoology. Also, we did a lot of research in regarding this is topic. And also in Indonesia, according to literature, a lot of research has been done in this is topic. I think for the difference there is a little. So for second question for how to control blooming, and blooming can be we can use it for feeds. I think it's okay, but the problem is how to produce this is how to make the blooming or how to control the blooming, how to make it normal. I think the question is like that, so really I forget the question. Yes, maybe you can use different elements, different chemicals, we can use it to control the blooming or the abundance of disease phytoplankton. But the main issues is regarding that is how to know the nature or the phenomena of disease species. Is it good for fish or not? So and also the problem is for in our community in this phytoplankton community for how to produce it. So the main issues the main issues in this case is how to control it. Maybe in big river it will make problem. In big ocean also it will make a problem. So and also we can use it. Yes, but sometimes blooming it will not happen all the times. For blooming it will not happen all the times. It depends on the amount of waste that is anthropogenic waste, and also human anthropogenic waste, animal waste, and also this is disposed to rivers, lakes, or to ponds. So it will make a blooming. Here, how to use it? If the waste is a lot, yes, is the waste is a lot in the ponds. How fish can be alive? I think it's impossible to be. It's impossible to make a blooming for this. So here in Sudan, and also in the same question, how you can use the blooming to get the benefit from it for fish feed. I think a lot of research, even in Indonesia, the people use like how to produce buckwheat, azola, and something like that to produce feeds. But this is for here to use it as a blooming. I think it's very difficult. Thank you. I hope I can answer your questions, or I
Okay.
can.
Thank you, Dr. Ramzy. Okay. Uh, the next three questions, I will ask Yoga Nugraha to open mic and open your camera for your question.
Uh, Hello, hello. Is
Yeah,
my voice clear, sir?
clear.
Okay, thank you. Before I asking, I would like to thank to Mr. Chandra and Dr. Ramzy for letting me speak in this Zoom meeting. Uh, so my question is, back in the course with Mr. Chandra that day, Mr. Chandra give us a video about 5 reasons why we must thank to plankton, and one of the reason says that plankton is a single cells who organism of a single cell who evolved to another complex cells like us human. I'm curious about your opinion, Dr. Ramzy, about this theory. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, Dr. Ramzy. So there is one video on YouTube share and watched by million people. So there's 5 reasons thanks to plankton. So we have to thanks to plankton 5 reasons, and at the end the video mentioned that why, because we are evolved from one a single cell. So that's a question for you. Do you believe that? Or how do you think about that? Okay, that's first question. Okay, next is Amara Rahullah Balkis. Silahkan Anda open mic dan open cam untuk bertanya. Amara, oke.
Pak, ya, Pak, terima kasih.
Bisa
Sebentar.
buka kameranya? Enggak.
Ya, bisa.
Oke, silahkan Amara.
Oke. I guess that my question is already mentioned by Rama, but I want more specifically to the Nile River. So, Mr. Ramzy, what I want to ask to you is how the climate change is affect the diversity of plankton in Nile River, and in what scale? Thank you.
Okay, very nice question. Okay, and then last raise hand is Melati Taufan Putri.
Iya.
Silahkan dibuka kamera dan silahkan untuk bertanya.
I'm sorry, I cannot open my camera. Please.
Okay, you get your permission.
Do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and ask a question. Well, hello, sir. My name is Melati, and I permission to ask. And before that, I'm sorry because my English skill is still ill. And the question is, may plankton be contracted with the virus, then transmit it to the fish through the food web? Thank you. That's
Please,
all. Thank you for the answer.
can you add the question again, please?
Melati bisa diulangi?
Okay. May plankton be contracted with the virus, then transmit it to the fish through the food web?
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
so there is there any chance for plankton will be related with the virus? As we know we have a pandemic situation now. So and then enter to the food chain or food web and affect us as human. So I think we still have one raises hand, so I will ask Asila Sedah Putri to open mic and open your camera.
Yeah. Before I'm asking, I want to thank Mr. Chandra and also Mr. Ramzy for the opportunity. I want to ask Mr. Ramzy, have you ever had a phytoplankton bloom in your country, and how much of impact is bloom for the humans? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's your all for question.
Okay.
Feel free to choose
Yes.
which one you want to ask for.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pak Chandra.
Hi.
Okay. For that question about the variation or the impact of phytoplankton or sorry, variation in river Nile or impact of phytoplankton, I think. So here in our country, really, we are facing a lot of problem. In the north, we have a desert. You know, desert Sahara. You know, we have a Sahara in the north, and this is so the river Nile is come from Sudan, from different countries. So there is a white Nile. It came from Uganda, Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, and to Sudan. In Khartoum, it makes, and also the Blue Nile is came from Ethiopia, you know Ethiopia, and also they join together in Khartoum and they will form Nile River. So Nile start from Khartoum to Egypt to Misr. Okay, so the problem is here along the Nile River in Sudan, we have a lot of manufacturing near to the Nile River. So this is the thermal water. You know, disposal of a lot of chemicals is come from River Nile, so it will make problem. And also, right now we have a problem here in Sudan, in Egypt, and also in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, they need to build a dams, big dams. So, and that big dams right now, it will make a problem for our River Nile because it will take a lot of waters, and this is it will make the amount of our water it will be less. So it means we have less waters than before here in Sudan, also in Egypt. So right now we have a conflict, we have a problem with our neighbor in Ethiopia. For diversity, I think we have a lot of research, even here in our departments, a lot of research in MSc, master degree, and also PhD. A lot of PhD has been done in River Niles, and also we have graduated students under they did their own scripts in this program. Even me also right now we have research, we have a student doing this is research in different stations in Blue Nile, also in White Nile, and also in the main Nile. So here in Khartoum, in Sudan, we have three Niles: main Niles, River Niles, and also White Niles. And also we have a tributaries, a lot of rivers, Adbara rivers. So this is the main issues here. So for the variation for species, I think yes, we have variation of species from place to place, from station to station, and also from places along to the river Niles. Even in Egypt, also they have different species or different taxa. I think I hope I answered your own question, Miss. For another question is asking about phytoplankton unicellular. Yes, it's unicellular organism, and that is a photosynthetic organism, and a lot of chain. So it will make together to make just like a line, like like a lines in order uh, to make a community. So for another question about the virus, yes, do you know some phytoplankton will be toxic to organism, it will be toxic to fish also, and some phytoplankton will produce ammonia. Ammonia is also very toxic to fish, and also for the virus, maybe virus can be attached to this is cellular organism, and fish may be eat it, and also it will make problem. And also in fish disease, there is a lot of bacteriology that is connected, a lot of bacteria, kind of bacteria connected to phytoplankton maybe, and will make problem to the fish. Virus may be transferred from place to places, and also from along with the food chain, also may be transferred. I hope I can answer this question also.
Yeah, Dr. Ramzi. Uh, Thank you for the answer. And then, yeah, one a question comes up from the chat. So, is there any different, especially in marine ecosystem, is any different between phytoplankton in Indonesia? As you know, unfortunately, you visit Bandung is not a marine area, so
Yes,
I think you can explain to us what phytoplankton in the Red Sea close to Sudan area.
yes, let's see. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Also in Red Sea, we have a lot of research. We have a lot of collaboration in projects with Red Sea University. A lot of people. Uh, yes, and also here in our departments, we have one. Came from there, and he's also still doing this research in our departments. And right now, unfortunately, he left our department. Right now, he's working in the Ministry of of Agriculture in Saudi Arabia, KSA. So unfortunately, he left us. So this is the main issues. Also, we have Red Sea. This is our coastal lines, the main coastal. Yes, in Sudan. And yes, there is a variation and there is a difference between taxa and also between the classification of this is one from here to there. I hope I.
Yeah. Uh, so is there any I if I'm not I don't have any clear information actually. Is there any blooming situation in the Red Sea during some several like season? If you can explain to us.
Mhm. Do you know Red Sea is the blue sea, as we say. So the color,
Yeah,
yeah, yes, airnya blue, yeah. But
airnya biru
they
ya.
call it Red Sea. So because there is some kind of plankton, and also coral reef in that one.
Okay.
Their color is red. That's why they call it Red Sea. But airnya itu it's not
Yeah,
merah.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yes.
been like a geographic name, as you know.
Yeah. So the blooming in I think in sea we don't have it here
Okay.
because Red Sea is clear and also I think there is not a lot of nutrient like fresh water, but in I think in a specific tributaries here in Nile River, one is called Atbara River. I think there is the blooming. So in Khartoum University also a lot of research has been done in that times in that season for that blooming. But for Red Sea we don't have it. Yeah,
You don't.
we don't have.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it just to clarify to all students because the Red Sea is it doesn't mean a red tide, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It just to make it clear because many of us sometimes it's like assumption like okay red maybe it's
Yeah.
because sometime in some situation it will be going to be red or something so it's
Yeah.
clear. Dr. Ramzi sampaikan bahwa lautnya biru ya. You have color reef also ya. You have and then you have uh, Anda bisa temukan terumbu karang juga di sana. Baik teman-teman, Ibu masih ingin bertanya Ibu? Oh, Ibu nanti akan bertanya. Oke. Okay. So, I want yuk.
Tidak bertanya tapi informasi. Oke.
Ya, silakan Ibu.
Really, I'm very happy today.
As Dr. Ramzy said that many students in Sudan and another country graduate from Nile River Research.
Yes, sir.
So similar to Indonesia, there are many students graduate from Sungai Citarum.
Citarum, yeah.
Because there are 3 dam in Citarum. You know, me, Prof. Mas Samsir, and Bu Heti.
Yes, yes.
Citarum River Research.
Yes, a lot of research I think is done in that.
You can
Citarum.
compare that.
Yes, and Citarum, he's passing through 3 dam.
Yes. PKST Dam.
Yes.
Ciratan Jatiluhur.
Yeah, Jatiluhur. Yes, I know. Yes.
Many students from UNPAD graduate through Citarum River Research.
Yeah, Citarum. Yes.
For your information, just for your information.
Yeah, Citarum and also I forget the another one is Citarum and also near to Suka Cianjur is called
Cirata.
Cirata. Yes. Yeah, Cirata, near to Cianjur. Oh, Sukabumi, I think.
No, not Sukabumi.
Yes, Cianjur. Yes.
Cianjur, not Sukabumi.
And also another one is Cirata, Jatiluhur, and
Saguling. Saguling.
Saguling, yes, Saguling. Saguling, I think for Mas Samsir, he did research in
Yes,
Saguling.
Mas Samsir in Saguling.
Yes.
In Cirata.
Yeah, for you, Cirata, I think. Yes, I know. Yeah, today I'm very happy really to contact you, Boo, and to be offline with you. Really, my master, and also she is my opponent for my PhD, for my Estiga, and she asked me very tough and very rough question at that time. Really, I'm very happy about that question, and I still remember that question. Bu Zahida, thank you so much, really.
Thank you, Pak Ramzi. Ayo, Pak Chandra, back to you.
Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Ramzi, when Ibu Jahidah mentioned about Citarum, she can explain very well, divide into three reservoir and then different region or kabupaten we call like Kabupaten Bandung, Cianjur, and Purwakarta. But as we know, Nile is cross country.
Cross country, yes.
Cross country. So when you mentioned before, one of country want to make a dam, it will
Yeah,
be problem to others country.
yeah,
So
yes.
so so, so how like this uh, like agreement between this African country to
Yeah,
manage this Nile
yes.
River?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think yes. You know, this is this agreement 1929. Since that times 1929, we have this is agreement between Sudan and Egypt, and right now the other countries woke up, so they ask about their own right. They don't have rights in this is waters. They have to have their own waters, like Ethiopia and also South Sudan and
Yeah.
also Kenya, Uganda, and also they asking about their own right. So this is the main issue. So in Indonesia, I think you have it inside your country. So you are
Yes.
very blessed and you are very happy, really, about that. I visited Chirata. Really, a lot of aquaculture.
Yeah.
I think in that dam, like cage in cage. Really, it's very very nice at that time. I was there.
Very nice, very crowded, and very dangerous now.
Sometimes it's very dangerous, yes, because it will pollute the waters and it will put toxic substances in waters. Really. Okay.
Okay. So
Thank-
I think we don't have any raise hand. Is there any question not yet answered by Mr. Ramzi? Is still there any question? So please your raise hand to clarify that your question is not yet answered. Okay, all clear? There's no others question. Okay, if there is no question, I think it's very nice discussion in about 90 minutes, almost 2 hours. And I'm glad to have you with us.
I'm very happy
So I
to be with you.
yeah, I will waiting for your slide. You can send to me, and I will inform to the students
Okay.
about the tugas. You make it clear, tugas, not
Yes.
not task, but tugas.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the abundance of phytoplankton and its relation to the nitrogen phosphorus ratio. So I think we need to abstract introduction, literature review, and also conclusions. I
Okay,
think more than 5 pages, not my 5 pages.
maximum 5 pages.
Yes, I think 5 pages is enough.
Oke, oke.
Yes.
So, teman-teman, nanti saya akan umumkan di Google Classroom, tapi ini kurang lebih tugasnya. Anda diminta untuk mereview paper mengenai kelimpahan fitoplankton dan hubungannya dengan N dan P rasio. Ya, kemudian nanti ini akan didiskusikan dan dikumpulkan minggu depan. So the deadline is next week class, right?
Inshallah next week.
Oke.
Inshallah.
Oke, baik. Jadi teman-teman similar with us, lecturer in Sudan also give a task, tugas So it's very common in a whole university. That's the lecturer task.
Thank you.
So,
In order to make a reference just for student.
so yeah, yeah, and then yeah, it's the good thing when Dr. Ramzy come to Unpad. Fortunately, so Sudan close to Sunda, so Sudanese and Sundanese is very close. Because
Yes,
I believe also many of college tell me that you can speak bahasa Sunda also.
yeah. Just what's called just a small word like semi something like that. Yeah.
Sami-sami hatur nuhun.
Yes. Afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, then you officially because you are a graduate from Unpad, you officially become Kang Ramzy.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm very
Uh,
happy.
Baik, terima kasih teman-teman untuk menutup pertemuan siang ini. To close this today lecture, please our coordinator, Profesor Zahidah, to give a closing statement.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Chandra. Karena sudah dalam bahasa Inggris, sekarang kita bahasa Indonesia saja ya. Sudah 1,5 jam dulu dalam bahasa Inggris, dalam bahasa Indonesia saja. Faham ya yang barusan disampaikan oleh Pak Ramzy, meskipun sebagian di antaranya sudah Anda dapatkan di perkuliahan, tapi tentu saja apa yang disampaikan oleh Pak Ramzy akan memperkaya wawasan Anda ya, karena Pak Ramzy juga membawa Anda ke Sungai Nil, karena Anda juga meminta diajak ke Sungai Nil ya. Mudah-mudahan apa yang disampaikan oleh Pak Ramzy ya memperkuat pemahaman Anda tentang fitoplankton. Insya Allah minggu depan kita akan membicarakan mengenai zooplankton. Siapkan pertanyaannya sebanyak mungkin ya, kemudian tanyakan ke Pak Ramzy ya. Nah kalau barusan ada lumayan banyak yang bertanya, mudah-mudahan minggu depan lebih banyak yang bertanya dan Anda juga menyampaikan apa yang diminta oleh Pak Ramzy, tugas yang tadi disampaikan oleh Pak Ramzy. Ya, bisa dikerjakan dengan baik dan Anda bisa mempresentasikannya atau menyampaikannya ke Pak Ramzy untuk direview. Tugas Anda direview nanti oleh Pak Ramzy. Ya, sebentar mungkin diminta aja para Chandra ya direview dulu sebentar tugasnya ya.
Oke.
Oke. Terima kasih hatur nuhun Pak Ramzy.
Sama-sama ya, sampai ketemu lagi insyaallah.
Happy saum.
Ya, insyaallah.
Start saum Ramadan. I hope you very happy in Saum and we meet next Monday on at the same time. Okay, Pak Chandra, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much to all students and speaker, Dr. Ramzy. Once again, thank you very much. I'm glad to have you here, and we will see you again in the next week. I will close this meeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Maaf lahir batin.